In this video, you'll get 43 Midjourney tips and tricks so you can become a Midjourney pro. Whether you are a complete beginner or have been using Midjourney for a while, I'm confident that you will find value in this video. So let's dive into it. Midjourney tip number 1 is to understand the proper prompt structure. So there are two types of prompt structure. One is the basic prompt, which consists of text only. And the second one is the advanced prompts, which includes the image, text, and the parameters. Midjourney tip number 2 is to insert image in your prompt. For the image prompt, you want to upload the image. You can either upload the image from your computer or just grab an image online. So let's say I have already uploaded. This is my cat. You want to come here, grab the image address, and then come back out here and type in imagine. This is where you paste the image address, space, and then you give the text prompt. Let's make it a painting, and let's make it aspect ratio 2 and 3, and S stands for Stylize. 750, so which is a relatively high stylized number. Press enter. Let's see the result. Here you go. That's how you use image in your prompt. Midjourney tip number 3 is to adjust the importance of your image with image weight. So the image weight parameter lets you tell the Midjourney bot how important is your image and how much weight it should take into consideration versus the text portion of your prompt. So the default value is 1 and the image weight can range from 0 to 2. So the higher the number, the more weight it has in the prompt. So here's an example. This is the image prompt. So that's the original image. So if you do 0.5 image weight, it's more different than the original image. The higher the image weight goes, the more resemblance it has to the original image. So when you go to this one is much similar to the original image. So that's the purpose of the image weight parameter. Midjourney tip number 4 is to insert parameters to adjust your image output. So parameters are basically modifiers that you can add to any prompt at the end to be able to adjust the output. And they all begin with a double dash. And parameters supersede any default settings that you may have. Midjourney tip number 5 is to change your image size. First, you would generate an image as normal. You type in prompt/imagine, just a text prompt of what you want to generate. And then at the end of the prompt, you simply add a parameter --AR, which stands for aspect ratio. And then you simply specify the aspect ratio that you want the image to be in. For example, if I want a vertical dimension, we can go with 2:3, press enter. These are the options of the different aspect ratios that you could apply to your images. So the 2:3 that we just used is close to the vertical dimension. And if you want a landscape dimension of the image, so that would be more like 3:2 or 7:4. And let's do one with 3:2. Again, --AR 3:2. So here we have the first image generated in the 2:3 ratio. And then here we have a similar image generated in the 3:2 dimensions. That's how you change the image size or the aspect ratio of your images in Midjourney. Midjourney tip number 6 is to optimize your image. So whenever you generate an image, it always comes in a grid of 4. It's always 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's say if you want the first one, you can come to V1. So when you press V1, it will generate 4 more variations based on the first image. As you can see here, it will have a subtle variations of the first image. So let's say if you like the second one here, simply come to U2, which means upscale 2. That will give you a high resolution of the second image. And then you can just come in here and right click and save the image, and there you have the image. Midjourney tip number 7 is to avoid message clusters and prompt in the DMs. If you are a beginner, it's good to come to any of the newbies room, also called channels, or any of the general channels. These are basically like public chat rooms of people using to input their prompts to create any of the art they want to create. And as you can see, there are a lot of other people also using the same channel. So what happens is if you want to have a private chat with the Midjourney bot, you can simply come to the right side where it says Midjourney bot, click and type in the message here. So you can type in any message and it will take you to like a private chat. From here, you can generate your image in private without any of the outside clusters. Midjourney tip number 8 is capitalization in your prompt does not matter. And keep in mind that the capitalization in the prompt does not matter. It doesn't matter if they are in lowercase or uppercase. Midjourney tip number 9 is word choice and detail matters. With text prompt is that you want to be as detailed as possible. Midjourney works best with simple and short sentences that describe exactly what you want to see. The more descriptive the prompt, the better it understands you. Here is an example. I typed in cartoon character with his puppy French bulldog. Make him a superhero for boys 3 to 5 wearing a black outfit with a red cape, gold boots. This is what it generated. Not bad. With prompting, you want to think about the details. You can be vague and Midjourney will give you different ideas. But if you want your image to be specific, you have to be specific with the prompt. So these are the details that you can think about to help you create the image exactly the way that you want. Midjourney tip number 10 is to remove any unnecessary filler words. So for example, here we have a prompt. I want a photorealistic portrait of a mermaid that is by the ocean in a composition of the rule of thirds, being taken with a Sony a7 III camera. So in this case, you can remove I want A and just say photorealistic portrait of a mermaid. And you could even eliminate of A and put a comma instead. Remove that is. So these are all unnecessary words. And when you remove them, you help Midjourney understand better and you will get better results. And that would be a much shorter prompt. And there we have our photos. So be direct with your prompt and remove any unnecessary filler words. So Midjourney tip number 11 is to try single word prompt to see surprising results. With Midjourney, all you need is one single word and it can generate an image just based on that one word. And one of my favorite words to use is hyperdrive. And here we go. And these are some cool images just based on that one word. Another good one is dreamscape. And here we go. And these are some really cool images if you ask me. And they all came from just one word and all based on Midjourney's own imagination. Midjourney tip number 12 is to have fun prompting with emojis. So Midjourney is capable to generate an image just based on emojis. And then we could come here and find a couple emojis. You can never go wrong with this heart eyes. And let's go with a soccer ball. Or in most places it's called football. Wow, and isn't this so cool? This was generated by 2 emoji. Tip number 13 is to blend multiple images together. This was the final product. The original 2 images was a baby gray kitten and just a picture of a crown. I'll show you how to combine these two. So all you gotta do is to enter /blend, press enter. You simply upload the 2 images onto here. You can either click to upload or just drag and drop. So in this case, I'll just drag this one as 1 and the crown as 2. And then you want to click down here and then you can choose a dimension. So there are 3 options for the dimensions: portrait, square, or landscape. So let's go with landscape. And just so you are aware, you can actually combine up to 5 total images in Midjourney. So if you have more images that you want to combine, you can just click on here, +3 and more, and just click on the image number and then you'll be able to upload the image. Press enter. So here we have 4 variations of the image. So let's say we like the first one and we'll just come here to press U1, which is upscale 1. So this way you get a high resolution of the image. You can just click and then save this image. Midjourney tip number 14 is to adjust the chaos parameter. So this sets the randomness of the image, which means how varied you want the initial image grids to be. So higher chaos, you would get more unexpected results, and lower chaos, you would get more reliable, repeatable results. It ranges from 0 to 100, and the default chaos is set at 0. So let's say we go -C, 50. All right, so here's the example. As you can see, the images in the 4 grids are quite different. So that's with a relatively higher chaos. So this is good to generate, different ideas to see which type of look that you want in your image. Midjourney tip number 15 is to adjust the Stylize parameter. So Stylize is the parameter that influences how strong the Midjourney's aesthetic is applied, meaning how strong you want the image style to be. So a higher stylized number mean Midjourney will get more creative, and a lower stylized number mean Midjourney will get less creative. So the stylized number ranges from 1 to 1000, and the default setting, if you don't do anything, is at 100. So let's do a live example. For the first one, let's prompt old man in Pixar style with the stylized number 50, which is a low number. Okay, here we go. And the next one is try the same exact prompt, but with a 750 stylized. So here we go. So the top one is with the 50 stylized number, which is a low number, and the bottom one is with a 750, which is a higher number. So that's what a stylized number parameter is. Midjourney tip number 16 is to use the Midjourney prompt tool. This one is basically a Midjourney prompt helper website. To access this, you go to prompt.noonshot.com. You can come here and use any one of these tabs to help you build your prompts. For example, you can go to styles and select the different styles that you have. Picture preferred lighting, choose your camera type, select your favorite artist or even colors, or use any one of these tabs below to customize your prompt. This prompt tool is going to help you build your prompt 10 times easier. Midjourney tip number 17 is to get amazing prompt ideas from Midjourney Gallery. You can just come to midjourney.com and go to explore, and in the community feed, it's basically a public feed of all the photos that other people are generating. So you can come here, search whatever you want on the top, or you can come to one of these tabs and just kind of browse. You can click on these and you'll be able to see exactly what prompts were used in order to generate such images. Typically, most of the good prompts are really detailed. And another one is when you generate an image, you can actually tap the web button. It takes you to the website of the image. You can just scroll down and explore the related images, similar to the ones that you generated, to get like a different look, right? Same thing, you can just come here and you'll be able to see the exact prompt that was used to generate the different similar images. Midjourney tip number 18 is to get more ideas from Prompthero. On this website, you're able to find an endless amount of AI art that was generated by Midjourney. So you can browse through the different kinds of amazing images that was generated and see the exact prompt. So here we have a photo, and this is the exact prompt that was generated. So this is an excellent place to get inspirations from. You can copy it, modify it the way that you want, or add any parameters that you want at the end to make it your own style. As you can see, there are tons of amazing images that was generated. You are able to access each and every single one of them and see the exact prompt that was used to generate them. So this is a great place for you to get prompt ideas. Midjourney tip number 19 is to extend the canvas of your image with a zoom out feature. This feature only works for an upscaled image, not with the images that's still in the foregrids. So go ahead to upscale a photo, and once you have an upscaled image, you can come here to zoom out 2x or zoom out 1.5x, or have a custom zoom. And let's go with 1.5x. Here we have a zoomed out version of our original image. Pick one. And if you want to add any prompt in addition to the zoom out, you can come to custom zoom. And this is where you can add your prompt. And let's say we go with a frame picture on wall and click submit. And here we have our photo. And I really like this one. So let's expand it. Boom. Amazing. Midjourney tip number 20 is to expand an image in any direction. So let's say if you want more space on a certain direction, let's say on the right side, you can click one of these arrows. If you click the one in the right direction, and it will pan the image on the right side, and I'll show you an example. And here we go. So this is when you pan right, so it will just create more space on the right side, and you can choose any direction that you want to. Midjourney tip number 21 is to apply text weight in your prompt. So next we're going to talk about text weights. So you basically use the double colon to set the weight on certain words specifically. The default text weight is 1 if you don't specify. So here's an example. So let's say if you put in the prompt man double colon 1 and you put in holding a dog double colon 3. So this will tell the Midjourney bot that the dog in the image is 3 times more important and should have 3 times more weight when it generates the image. Midjourney tip number 22 is to find the job ID and seed number. You go to the image that you want to get the job ID or the seed number, and all you have to do is right click and go to add reaction and click envelope. That's one way to do it, or you can just come to the top right of the message, click reaction, and also the same thing, give it a envelope emoji. After you do that, you come all the way to the bottom, and there we go. There we have the job ID and also the seed number. Midjourney tip number 23 is to create consistency in your images with seed numbers. This can be used to maintain consistency across multiple generated images. And the way that you put in is just put -- seed and then the value. And then with the seed number, you're able to use this in the seed prompt. So the seed prompt is when you use the same seed number and prompt, you will get similar final images. So here's an example. So let's say if you run 3 times with the same seed prompts, and this is the example of the Celadon owl picture. So as you can see, each time comes out in a different style in the 4 images. So when you specify the specific seed number with the same seed number and the same prompt, you will get very similar final images. Okay, so that's the purpose of the seed prompt. Tip number 24 is to view your account info with the info command. When you type in /info, this shows information about your account and usage. So as you can see, I have a basic subscription and this is the remaining time that I have left. The next one is subscribe. So when you press subscribe, it generates a link to your account page, and this is where you can subscribe or cancel your paid plan. And this is my account information, and this is where you can make adjustments to your accounts. Midjourney tip number 25 is to adjust the default settings in your account. To see and adjust the settings, you would come and type in /settings and you enter. When you do that, you'll be able to see this in your settings. The latest model, which at the moment is 5.2, would be the default settings. So the first one we're going to talk about, raw mode. Basically, the whole idea when you turn this on, it gives you more control over the creative versus Midjourney generated image based on what it thinks it's best. The default settings is stylized medium. So medium is default at 100. Style low, you're at stylized 50. Stylized high, you're at 250. Very high, it's at 750. Public mode means that the image you generated can be seen in public. And the only way to turn this off and be private if you have a pro plan subscription. So the low variation mode is at default. And what that means is that when you make changes to your image, the changes is subtle. This is useful to help you refine or make just slight adjustments. And for the high variation mode, this is useful when you want to create multiple concepts based on one single generated image. Midjourney tip number 26 is to try out different model versions. So next we're going to talk about the version parameter, which is --v. So this sets the algorithm version Midjourney uses. So currently the default version is 5.2. So if you want to use any of the previous version, you simply will type in --v and then the version number. And as far as I know, the newest and most updated version is always set as default. Tip number 27 is to use the Niji model for anime style images. So to switch to Niji model, you simply go to settings, and you click the drop down here and select Niji model version 5. This is the model that is optimized with generating anime style images. So we can create an example, and this is the prompt. So here we have some nice results. So if you generate any anime style type of images, I highly recommend you to use this model. Midjourney tip number 28 is to create short movie of your initial image. And this only works for the initial image grid and not the individual upscaled image. To do that, you will give a prompt and add --video at the end. Once the initial grid is generated, you simply come here to the add reaction and click the envelope emoji. And when you do that, the link to the video will be directly sent to you in the DMs. So here we have the video, and when you scroll up, you will see the link here. You click on it, visit site, and here we have the video. Midjourney tip number 29 is to explore unconventional aesthetics with a weird parameter. Let's say we use a steampunk robot as an example. You add --weird at the end, and then you have to give it a number. The default value for this parameter is always set as 0. So let's go with 100 for this example. And the highest value for this parameter can go up to 3000. And let's see how weird it gets. So here we have the image. And let's try a higher weird parameter. Let's say we go 2500. So here we have the results. So this parameter can be a fun one to mess with and get creative with. Midjourney tips number 30 is to create seamless patterns. You can create seamless patterns for fabrics or wallpapers with the tile prompt. So here we're going to enter the prompt watercolor koi, and at the end you input --tile, upscale the one that you like, and that will give you a perfect repeating tile pattern. To make sure, you can go to a seamless texture checker, upload the file, and there we go. And there you have a seamless tile pattern. Midjourney tip number 31 is to use famous artworks in your prompt. To do that, I like to come to the Midjourney prompt tool that I shared with you before and come to artist. Here you can easily see many of the artists and their example of their artwork. I just like to come here because I could see many artist style in a snapshot. So let's say if we want to go with Van Gogh, you can take that inspiration and come back to the Midjourney prompt. This is what I had just generated, and this is with the prompt astronaut in space, Van Gogh style, and I give it a text weight with 4. And then let's say if we come back to the Midjourney tool and let's go with a different style. Let's go with Banksy in this case, and let's test this out. Imagine Banksy style and give it a image weight, and let's see what it will come out. So here we have the image. So as you can see, by using different artist style, you can really get an entirely different look with the images. Tip number 32 is to use specific numbers instead of plural words. So if you were to generate a photorealistic image of dogs, so instead of saying dogs in plural, specify how many dogs you want in the picture. So let's say if we want 3 dogs in the picture. When you're specific, you're able to generate the image exactly the way that you want. instead of leaving a lot of room up to chance for Midjourney to guess. So this is the way of more effective prompting. Midjourney tip number 33 is to specify the perspective types. So as you can see here, I put in a prompt, man walking in nature in Bali, Indonesia, in aerial view. So here you can see the camera angle is above the person. So let's say if I do a linear view, that's a more leveled angle, giving you a different perspective. And let's say if I do a worm's eye view, so that will be below the subject. So different perspective gives you different feels. So it's important to specify the perspective type in order to get the image exactly how you want. Midjourney tip number 34 is specify the lighting condition. Lighting is such an important component of an image. So what type of lighting would you want? Here are some examples. There are concert lighting, there are dusk, there are direct sunlight, there are moonlight, natural lighting. Different lighting will give you different effects on the photo. So let's edit this one and go dusk. So here we have the dusk lighting, and here was the original one. So different lighting can definitely cause your photo to appear different. So definitely remember to specify. Tip number 35 is to specify the mood. As you can see here, this is the image that was generated by this prompt. The women on these photos have more of an indifferent mood. So to change the mood, add it in here, smiling. And we have a smiling version of the women. So remember, you're able to specify the mood in your photo. Midjourney tip number 36 is to specify your color palette. So this was the photo that we had generated in the dusk golden hour. So if I just take the same exact prompt and just change the color palette to dual tone, and this is what we got. And if I change the color palette to monotone, this is what we got. So specifying the right color palette is definitely important in terms of generating the image that you want in your AI art. Tip number 37 is to use the rule of thirds. So the rule of thirds in photography means that you place in the subject in either the left thirds or the right thirds of the image. So what this does is that it gives you a much more proportioned image composition. So let's show you an example. So this was the photo that we generated before. It's a square photo and the subject is right in the middle. And let's come down, and I used the same exact prompt, except for that I added the rule of thirds and I added aspect ratio 16 and 9. And as you can see here in the photo, this one, the subject is in the middle, and this one followed the rule of third proportion, and so is this one. So I would say that with these two photos, definitely gives off a better proportion and a better vibe in the photos. And that's because it followed the rule of thirds. Tip number 38 is to remove items with negative prompting. So the next one we're going to talk about is --no. So this allows you to exclude any elements from your image. So let's say we want to adjust this one. We can come to vary and then type in no leaves. There we go. So that removes the leaves and gives you different concepts of the image. Midjourney tip number 39 is to use the help command for guidance. The next one is /help. So when you type in /help here, you'll be able to see all the basic helpful information about the Midjourney bot. Tip number 40 is to ask Midjourney to describe your image. So let's say if you have an image and you want the Midjourney bot to help you describe the image, you can come here, type in /describe, and simply attach the image file and press enter. And the Midjourney bot will come up with 4 description of your image. So as you can see, the Midjourney bot will provide you with 4 different versions of the description of your image. This is a great tool to use to help you articulate all the elements that you have in your image. Midjourney tip number 41 is to combine multiple prompts for a complex image. So we come here, we type in the usual imagine prompt, and let's grab 2 of the prompts and combine them. Let's grab this one, and let's grab this one. And when you combine the 2 prompts, let's see what the result will be. And here we go. So that becomes a more sophisticated image. So feel free to combine multiple prompts to create a more complex image. Midjourney tip number 42 is to prevent images from being visible to others. By default, Midjourney runs on the public mode. Since Midjourney is an open by default community, basically what that means is all image generations are visible at midjourney.com and it's open for everyone to see. If you prefer to make your image generation private, you can enter stealth mode, and that's /stealth.
And when you do this, your images will not be visible to anyone. You can only do this when you're on the Pro plan and when you generate the images inside your direct messages or on one of the private Discord server. Midjourney tip number 43 is to keep testing and use trial and error.
Just like anything else, the only way to get better at using Midjourney is by using it and by trial and error. Expect to have a slight learning curve in the beginning, but the more you use it, the better you'll become. Once you start getting used to how certain commands or parameters work, then you are going to be able to generate the AI art that you want. That is it for today. I hope that you got some value from this video. This took a long time of researching, filming, and editing, so if you could please drop a like and hit the subscribe button, I would highly appreciate it. And until next time, see you in the next one.